but you're talking about charging for evals. You're talking about, people giving prices over the phone for a dog that they've never seen, whatever. And that was always a big problem. Number one, when you get the person on the phone call, you're just finding out, hey, what's going on? And a lot of times a person says, well, how much is this going to cost? And the reason they say that, Chris, and we've talked about this a dozen times, is because that's the only question they know to ask.
Yep.
They don't know to ask, what training style do you use? What's my dog going to learn? They don't know to ask any of that stuff. So they don't. They ask, how much is this going to cost? And so as a seasoned salesperson in dog training, you learn to answer those questions by saying, well, I'm not even sure what you need yet. Like, it might be something super simple that I can fix in one visit for you, or it might be something more in depth. So what I really would like to do is meet you and your dog in person. And now we haven't discussed prices, but if they keep hounding on that because they want to know, do I even qualify? And they keep saying, then you give them a very broad range. Well, if it's something super simple, I do a single lesson for $200. But if it's something super in depth, we could, aggression case, whatever you're dealing with, it could go into the thousands. So, we start here at a couple $100 and we go all the way to $20,000. So we'll find
Yeah.
somewhere happy for you. And then, of course, when you get there, now you've got the person face to face. Now you get to explain and sell the experience, not just the dog training. You're selling them the experience of the dog training, so that they it's more than just teaching a dog a command. You're building that relationship with the person, and so when you hit them with that price, they understand what they're getting. They understand what's going into it, the amount of training, that this is custom for their dog. And it's just part of the sales process, learning how to answer those questions rather than just disqualifying people with those questions. I can't tell you how many people have called and go, well, how much is it? And, oh, we can't spend thousands of dollars. And even tell them, well, hey, let me just come do this first lesson for free. That's where that first eval, you're learning, meeting the dog, meeting the person, free eval. That's why I've had so many programs sold going to meet that person that told me, oh, we can't afford it, saw me interact with their dog, saw their dog respond, and then go, hey, it's no big deal. You take checks, cash, what do you want? And
Yeah.
that's why the free eval is important. So
Gotcha. And also the
throw that
command.
into your video thing.
Oh yeah, that's good. And dude, and plus, they might think it's a simple thing, like a session thing, but then you get there and it's something different, right? Because for me, when we rescued Zeppeli, I literally thought like, oh, this is all solid. Like, even though like the separation anxiety is one thing, we had, I thought all the other commands were like a couple set. I literally thought it was like a couple sessions to get, for her to learn everything else. I didn't realize it would take all this extra time to get there. So and that's come from someone who was a consumer before I got into this, So
Right.
yeah, so I think I'm sure the average consumer probably thinks too it's just one session or two sessions. I thought that, and then little do they know it's actually like a lot more work that goes into it. But it was so rewarding though, building the bond with her while we were training. That was also like the rewarding part of it too. I bet consumers probably don't even realize like we connected so much more with Zeppeli in the process.
Right. And bro, everybody lies to you. That's why I don't give them a price until I get my eyes on the dog. Because I can't tell you how many people go, oh, he's not mean, he's not aggressive, he's only bit 4 people. Well, your dog's freaking aggressive. Well, no,
Yeah,
he's not aggressive. He just ripped the mailman's pant leg off. Like, no, yeah, you do have an aggression issue, and then it's
yeah.
that's part of the education process, though. So when you get there and then people go, oh crap, my dog is aggressive. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to have to barricade the door, when somebody shows up. And it's just the education process, and you learned all that when you went to training. You know what I mean?